Hello everyone, welcome to my video. So in today's video I want to talk about this Apple M1 Mac. Lately I saw we have a brand new MacBook from Apple, the M5 series. But I own this MacBook for a year and a half or something, but I can tell you guys that Apple make this M1 Mac so good, too good to be true. So first let me talk about the design. This M1 Mac is still very modern in terms of the looks and feel, or design or some things like that. It's not that heavy, by the way, and it's not that thick as well. As you guys can see, it is very slim, very clean, and everything. It just like a laptop from 2025, 2026 or something. There is a huge notch, on the top, but I don't mind it because I still have this massive 16-inch screen, and the screen is very nice. The one thing that I want to complain about the screen is the brightness. It's a little low if you do working outside, I wish it's a little bit brighter. But if you are indoor like me all the time, I go out sometime, but in general I stay in my room, indoor, in a house, so I have no issue with that, And the second is I want to touch a little bit about the reflection. The screen is it's not that anti-glare or something. It's kind of weird sometimes if you look, if there is, a backlit, if there is a light behind you, you're gonna see that very bad reflecting into your screen. But there is a way to work around. You don't use, don't see it, don't use the light behind yourself, otherwise it's gonna show up on your screen so badly, so just the way how you position your camera, position your screen, right? All right, so that is a few things that I want to touch, that thing that I don't like. But anyway, for the money that you got for this M1 Mac, let's say you are looking for a working machine, especially for your video editing. For gaming, stay away from Apple. If you do only for gaming, and if you not for gaming and you also not doing any video editing as well or something like that, so I think you can go with Apple or either PC or Windows machine, like the laptop. Those laptop brand new cost you like a couple $100, so it costs much cheaper than this, and you still can do your typing kind of stuff, a little bit of game, Word, Excel, things like that, and do your social media stuff. It's just fine for that. But if you are prioritize on the social media productivity app, things like that, you editing video, like me, I'm using the sometimes the 1 series all. I move from Premiere Pro at first, with my the 1 series all, and then now I am with Adobe Premiere Pro, things like that. Because the reason why I go back with Premiere Pro, because the performance, the optimization on the Premiere Pro with the M1 Mac machine, it's just so smooth, very smooth. No matter what timeline I'm working on, like 4K 1080p, it's just very good, and I don't have to dealing with proxy. I don't have to dealing with any lag. There's a few here and there sometimes, but in majority, it worked perfectly with Premiere Pro. The 1 series result, there's a workaround with that. You have to set your 1080 timeline to 1080p, you generate proxy or something like that, reuse timeline resolution, things like that. But overall, if you do like video editing, one-to-one comparison between these two applications, Premiere Pro is a little bit faster and smoother in terms of, especially the timeline performance. The Premiere Pro is well optimized with that. I do use the WinZero Resolve a lot lately. By the way, let's get back to the M1 Mac. This is the M1 Mac with the 30-core GPU. I made a video about this once already. I chose this and I paid this M1 Mac for $1,600, something like that. By the way, I am very new with the Apple ecosystem, but with the iPhone with the phone. I mean, I use an Apple iPhone, so I've been on in the Apple in part of Apple ecosystem quite long, you know, since I use an iPhone quite some time now. So I know how to use it. But in terms of Mac, you know, I'm very new with it, because I like I am familiar with Control C, Control V, copy and paste, like the keyboard on the Windows machine. You know, it's not days and night different. It's just a little bit. It kind of, you know, but you get used to it when you own it, as long as you have it, when you try to play around with it, so you get used to it, you know. So now I'm familiar with the Mac, the keyboard, the layout, things like that. Yeah, so as I said, they make really good MacBook that make me, I don't need to upgrade, you know. Imagining the Windows machine that released in this year, the same as the Apple M1 Mac, if I remember, in 2000, what is it, 2022, something like that. Let me go with the ChatGPT here.
The Apple M1 Mac was released in November 2020. It was the first Mac to feature Apple's own M1 chip, marking a big shift from...
Yeah, in 2020. So from there until now, it's like almost 6 years old. So imagining a Windows machine in that time that packed top of the line graphic card, top of the line CPU, like the Intel Core i, what is it, Core i9 900K, things like that. I mean, this one going to outperform those in terms of long run. What I think, that's what I think, you know. I don't know, maybe the PC machine is even much more powerful than this. I don't know, because I never owned that very high-end gaming machine or Windows machine, never, you know. I invest this heavily on this MacBook, since you know, we don't have much money, so I have very small money. So this amount of money that I paid for the Apple product is ridiculous for me, you know. There's a lot of money. All right, guys, so that's it, what I want to share with this M1 Mac. You know, the product that I like the most, that I think it is the most value product, is the most important product to own, yeah, to have, to buy. Some people, even the content creators, they prioritize on so much on cell phone, cameras, lenses, things like that, but they don't prioritize on the product like this. I mean, they don't invest on this type of product. They think that MacBook machine is too expensive, or that Windows machine is too expensive. I'm not gonna spend that, you know, couple $1,000s on that product, you know. But they can spend that on their brand new camera, on their brand new cell phone. To be honest, guys, this is one of the most important tool in your creative activities daily. You know, everything came from here. You use your camera, record video, and you use this one to design it, to, you know, to produce it. You know, without this one, I mean, you don't have to buy a MacBook. I mean, without this type, maybe laptop, Windows PC, machine, things like that. But remember, just get the best one. You get the best one, and then you're good with that, because everything is made by this one. Understand me? Alright, guys, so that's it, what I want to share in this video. Hope you like it, and see you next time. Bye.